When I say Studio Series Windcharger, what comes to mind? You might be thinking, well, he wasn't in the movie. Why does he get a movie? Well, technically, he was in the movie. In a blink and you'll miss it scene. Dead with wheeled Jack. Oh. But I also have to include one of the best images I've ever seen. Windcharger murdering Starscream. You stab him in the chest. You deserve it, you utter bastard. Yeah, you deserve it. With Skywarp just being able to watch. Now, I don't think he dies right there. I think he, survives a little bit. But this. And that was apparently enough to make this happen. So yeah, Studio Series Windcharger. Windcharger is Magneto. He has control over magnetism. It is I, Windcharger, Master of Magnet. X-Men, welcome to die. It doesn't have the same ring to it. It doesn't quite have the same. But this toy is pretty cool. He is simple. He's on the smaller end of deluxe. He would have been a Legends class if Legends class was still a thing. And he has been previously. In Hunt for the Decepticons. In the Prime trilogy, I think. He got a new mold fairly recently in the last, before Legacy. But I was never interested. Man, this guy. So, just look at him. He looks pretty cool. He's got a mostly gray body with red limbs on. And a certainly interesting head. It's definitely not the toy. It's it uses the same helmet shape, but he's got a handsome face, and his boxy head almost turned into a judge's wig in the front. He is not very happy with something. I like the little random thing on his crotch. Those are always fun robot details. And the lines on his thighs somehow remind me of the ridges of an old can. We'd still make cans like that. And not very much on the back, just kind of his windscreen, really. And parts of his car mode. But, very clean. So articulation-wise is odd. His head is on a swivel, which only gets... No, it goes a full 360. But to look up, he's got a lever on the back of his head, and he looks up that far. He's basically a clone of him. That's the thing I used to do when playing freeze tag. You have the jail, people tag, they go into jail, and then their teammates can try and get them out by getting past you. I would do that. I would stand here like this, but look, seeing if I could get somebody to actually bite on it. I'd be looking up, but I'd be looking right at them, hoping they would run forward thinking I wasn't looking at them. But, yeah, nobody ever did. So his shoulders are ball jointed, but the outward range is only about, well, that much until you start to use the transformation joint. but they can go all the way around. You have a elbow and a bicep, but the bicep is a separate piece. Yeah. It's not a ball joint elbow. It's a regular hinge elbow, but with a piece cut right there for the bicep swivel, because this piece also moves, depending on if you want the wheel facing forward or backwards. I think I prefer this look, the clean shoulder. But the elbow is 90 degrees. The bicep swivel goes all the way around, and the wrist is on a ball joint, which gives you a swivel. It's hard to get at, but also bends down, and then that's easier to access the swivel. Hips are not the hips. The waist is on a mushroom peg, which you can literally see right there exposed. The hips properly are on universal joints, pin swivel, so you can get all the motion you need. And you have a thigh swivel, which is also on a mushroom peg, and you have a knee bend, which is quite tight. Yeah, it only seems to go... Hold on, can I get it to go further? Not really. Only goes about that far. And now, you might be wondering, where is his ankle? Like, he doesn't have anything that looks like an ankle. Everything down here is an ankle. Like, his ankle starts right below his knee. That's because they had to retain his shin vents for both his robot mode imagery and because of the vehicle mode he is. He's also got a port on his ass. A stand port, if you will. So for accessories, he has this gun, which is just a standard little needler. Halo fans. Yeah, it's kind of small. It has a 3mm peg, which can peg back there for storage. Or I shouldn't have done that. He really puts the ass in Astro Boy. And he has one of the most baffling effect parts I think I've ever seen. I believe it's supposed to be representing magnetism somehow, but honestly, it looks like what happened to make that image. It looks like he got hit by this, and then that happened. It doesn't look any better in vehicle mode, which, speaking of, we will get to now. For a size comparison, I keep going back to Thundercracker. We don't rotate the head, we're just going to let him look up a bit. Remove his gun from his hand. Use the ball joints on his wrists to put them down. Bend them down. Rotate his wheel biceps. His entire backpack is made out of clear plastic, which is painted this sort of gray-blue. And I'm really hoping it doesn't suffer from wear and tear over the years, but you're gonna hinge it backwards until it tabs in right there, right around the butt port. And then his arms are gonna collapse up and his hands are going to go inside the windshield. You just kind of have to snuggle them in there. It's a bit awkward, but so is being the little spoon. So get the other one. Yeah, there we go. And now we're going to come to his legs, fold out these pieces. They were wrapped all the way around. They form the bottom of his foot and the back of his... So, fold the wheels in as well. And these are going to hinge all the way over. Oh. They were supposed to be... They were supposed to be inside for robot mode. Oh. That didn't cause any damage. They're supposed to be here for robot mode. Whoops. Now fold them out for vehicle mode. And we're going to fold this all the way until it covers the windshield. And get tab into everything like that. I don't think it's... Ooh, no. Hold on. His pelvis rotated again. So things weren't lined up properly. But make sure everything is lined up properly. I think we're good. The same thing on the other side. It's a bit awkward. Make sure everything is given ample clearance. Yeah. And if something isn't moving in a certain direction, don't force it. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just going to undo the other side. Tab them together. And then it'll go over smoothly. There we go. And there you have Windcharger in his vehicle mode. He turns into an approximation of a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, which is a fairly iconic muscle car. Like, American muscle car, I'm pretty sure. Like, I almost feel like Cliff Jumper, Prime Cliff Jumper, transforms into something similar. Because G1 Cliff Jumper is supposed to be like a Porsche. But Prime Cliff Jumper is like a red muscle car. So, like, maybe just because they're both red muscle cars, they both, like, occupy a similar space in my head. Cliff Jumper's on this shelf, I should probably... And here's Prime Legacy Cliff Jumper. The one getting a packaging refresh in Age of the Primes. Yeah, they're not the same car. This guy's supposed to be like a Dodge Challenger mixed with a Plymouth Barracuda? Plymouth? A Plymouth Barracuda. At least his original toy was, but like... They're muscle cars. You can see how, to a non-car person, they might look similar, but not really. But you can see, hello, he's right down there. I don't even think you can tuck his head. Let me try. Well, I can't do it now because his shoulders are in the way. But we'll just leave him for... No gun storage. Oh, hold on. Maybe we can plug it in the front. It looks like where the license plate would go. There's a slot there, but there are no tabs on the gun. There's a 5mm port, a 3mm port, and 2 slots. And unless it was supposed to go somewhere during the transformation, there's nowhere to... Oh, wait. Does this work here? No, that's too big. Okay. That's the only place I could find to store the gun. Does that get in the way of... Yes, it gets in the way of rolling. What the hell, gun? What the hell? And as I mentioned, this plugs onto the front bumper. Like that. And okay, what the hell is it supposed to be now? It looks like an electronet. Now that I say it out loud, that's probably what it's supposed to be. An electronet, or just like a blast from a fart gun. Like you can still plug it in. I guess if you want to stand him up like that to do some repairs on him. Like if you brought him to an auto body shop, I guess, but neither of his accessories make sense in this mode. Like, what the hell? Yeah. So, Windcharger is cool. He's not needed if you're doing a complete movie display of characters that were actually alive in the movie. But, you know, he's a solid, basic car former with a bit of an unfortunate weapon storage situation. This really doesn't make sense. Why? And, you know, he's Windcharger. He murders Starscream. Don't you want him just for that? I know I do. So, yeah. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. I doubt he'll ever be on Top... Did I hear they were bringing back Top Gear without the original 3? Like the British Top Gear, like Clarkson and them? Because they brought back Mock the Week after canceling it with a bunch of the original cast. I still haven't seen any clips from it, but I think I heard something about Top Gear. Never gonna watch the American version because it's not Clarkson! Hammond, you idiot! Funny how they never actually shouted at James May because his name doesn't sound as good yelling it. But, till next time, keep Keep it weird. And keep all four wheels on the ground. Bye.